You are enough. Your weird kid stuff. Oh no, she's one of the nice ones. She's one of the ones you've earmarked as harmless, so don't you dare be rude to her. Almost wasn't worth it.
You are enough. You're a queer kid stuff.
All right. I think you know what song I'm going to sing for you today. Sing along if you know the words. Horses with horns are called unicorns. Some other horses shout because unicorns stand out. But unicorns never fear when horses call them queer.
Unicorns have dicks on their face, and unicorns have dicks in the usual place, so unicorns can spit roast two ladies at once. Unicorns don't exist, you see, except as a lesbian fantasy. Together forever in centipede heaven. Centipede. Unicorns have dicks on their face. It brings a new meaning. Just the equal chase, and unicorns will replace us as master race. These unicorns don't exist at all. Neither do minotaurs or leprechauns. Gorgons are morons, and mermaids are man-made, and ogres are posers, and dragons are faggots, and unicorns are the dickheads haunting your dreams. I am seven, what the fuck, Mummy, what's a lesbian, oh I see.
Cause queer means different, and being different is what makes you you, and me, and even you.
Here's the thing, Lindsay. I'm not a minority of the racial persuasion or a minority of the sexual persuasion, unless people who never touch anyone count, and they don't. I'm not a minority of the disabled Mexican otherkin kind, and I'm not a minority of the woman kind. Still not sure how that works, but I am and was this thing called a weird kid. One of those quietly eccentric kids who sits at the back of any given room and draws doodles. Had a rather dark and surreal sense of humour that other kids didn't quite understand. I'm not ADD or OCD or autistic or psychotic or anything diagnosable, anyway. It's just a weird kid. The kind of kid that school counsellors and teachers politely refer to as just different. And I don't qualify as marginalised. See, I sat on the margins of the playground and I sat in the margins of the classroom, but hey, I'm a weird kid. It's just my thing. I don't have a special identity. I'm just different. And as we keep discovering, you don't know what you got till it's gone. At least we had different. To some degree, we had that word to ourselves, but not anymore. Different now refers to little girls who like to munch pussy. And little boys who like to suck dick. Identity politics, it makes victims of everyone, eventually. But it starts with the weird kids. They experience all the things you tell girls and minorities to expect from life. If you don't naturally fit into groups or communicate well with others, you will have to work extra hard to be a successful individual. But there are no quotas for weird kids, no special scholarships, no affirmative action, and no medication, except self. And for the most part, they don't want any. It's just what life is like for a weird kid. They don't want special treatment. They don't want all their problems to be solved by an identity they have. They've grown accustomed to not doing that. It's just that when you do give privileges and special treatment and affirmative action to every conceivable kind of marginalized people except weird kids, it eventually takes its toll. When you see everyone around you either get a leg up in life or at least be normal, it makes it that little bit more depressing. Weird kids aren't necessarily depressives either. It's mostly a correlation. Anyway, Lindsay, darling, I like your style. I mean your musical groove, not your very bloody misguided lyrical conscience there. I think what you need to do is make it much more clear that you're just joking. This is just an elaborate troll job. Let anyone really be this warped. Because at the moment you're leaving people confused and ambivalent. They think you might actually be for real, Lindsay. Tell you what, if you got any fresh material, we'll hash it out together and see what we can come up with.
Gender, let's not get an offender over gender, alright. Remember, asking someone what are you is tender, not right.
Okay. Don't ask people what they are. Got it. I will try to remember that.
So you ask how do you identify, 'cause it's hard to tell just with my eyes. So tell me what you feel inside, so you can be the best of you and beam with pride.
Lindsay, what did you just say?
Remember, asking someone what are you is tender, not right.
You told us to remember that. And then you, Lindsay, forgot it by the very next bar of your song.
So you ask how do you identify.
What is the difference between asking what are you and asking how do you identify? Lindsay, they are the same question. Especially when you're talking to small children who don't really get nuances. You just told children not to do something and then immediately afterwards you told them to do it. I've been getting requests to respond to you for some time, but I delayed until now because at this point there's no two ways about it. You are hopelessly confusing the shit out of children, Lindsay. Very young children. One of those strange paradoxes in life is that the people who crave power are the worst possible people to give it to. It's something we understand when it comes to jury duty. If you leave it to the volunteers, you won't get a representative sample. You'll get a lot of authoritarian busybodies with nothing better to do. We give the job to people who don't want to do it, because they're the ones we can trust to be impartial the most. And it seems like that would be a good way to elect politicians. I have no idea how it would work, so it might as well be pie in the sky. But all we're left with is giving the job of rulers to people who really want to be rulers. And that's not ideal. I, for one, don't trust people who really want to be rulers. Nor, Lindsay, do I trust people who really want to teach children about sex. That really seems like a job that should be given to people who are reluctant to do it, such as the parents of said children. And yeah, there is a place for biological sex education at some point in high school, but again, ideally it should be conducted by teachers who are reluctant to do it. I remember those lessons in biology class. When the teacher puts the video in, I'm glad to see them wearing an expression of, Jesus, not this shit again. Maybe one day I'll get a class with a shred of maturity. Because when I'm watching a video of a human squeezing its way out of a throbbing vagina, I don't want to look across the room and see a teacher staring at us sultrily with a predatory smile. And perhaps with their hands below the desk. You know what I'm saying? And it's just as fucked up, Lindsay, to see this shit-eating grin staring at us while it begins to tell us the story of people who surgically invert their genitals. The subject is what you might call tender. And there's something fundamentally frivolous about what you're doing. And believe me, frivolous is the most charitable word I could dig out to describe this. Sometimes words alone fail me. Fortunately, this is what parody is for, and I have at least 6 strings to my bow. By the way, quick question, possibly a long shot, but do you gent?
Oh, Jen.